This is for you, or Aries, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is for this week to the July 14th. All right, so here we go. Aries, this is for money, okay? It looks like you have some great ideas. Look at this card. This is great ideas. New opportunities might just come in, and you'll be inspired about doing something. I am being told to tell you to hold the passion, because there's possibility. We have the Wheel of Fortune next, and the Wheel of Fortune talks about change and movement, and it's in upright, so it could be really, really good. So if you've got some great ideas, or you're journeying in some direction, it should be very good. I see some really wonderful times coming your way, and opportunities that will inspire you to indeed settle more money into your pocket. Yes. 9 of Cups is the end result there. 9 of Cups really has a lot to do with whining and dining and having a good time, and you aren't going to do that unless you got some bucks in your pocket. So if you've been looking for more money, this is definitely going to be a week that you'll have a little extra to play with, for sure. But times are not easy, no matter which way you look at it. So although this week might be a good one, Aries, be mindful of money long term. I don't really think I need to tell you that, because Aries, I do think that typically you're pretty smart about money, about your cash, okay? But overall, I will say you'll kind of live in paycheck to paycheck. Still be careful, okay? All right, I'm going to read for Taurus, though. For Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant, and this is for money for the week of July 7th to July 14th. Good. It looks like the 3 of Cups was in reverse, and that means, Taurus, you're probably emotionally not fully healed. Maybe something is saddening you, and it's kind of keeping you on the low. Maybe the money that you need isn't coming in. Maybe the ideas that you've put out aren't generating the income that you expected or hoped for. But I'm being told to tell you to stick with the journey, no matter which way. This is the Ace of Wands, not just the Ace of Wands. Not just the Ace of Wands, but the Ace of Inspiration in the Muse Tarot, which is Chris Ann Donnelly's other tarot deck. That's fantastic. It is about sticking with the journey. That's what this card's about. Even in reverse, it might be a little bit of a difficult journey, but it's most definitely one to stick with. All right, really important. Then you've got the 4 of Cups. This week, money-wise, you may need to be careful about what you spend on. So be reluctant, not eager to spend money. So this is a week of just sort of slowing down and letting the money bill that you've got naturally without pushing in any direction, okay? Keep to yourself. I don't see a lot more money being created this week, but better, more ideas, okay? Ideas, options. It's not necessarily a week to make those decisions unless, and I will say this, unless there's 2 things that might change that for you, Taurus. And that is Mercury is going into retrograde, and this is the week of its shadow period. And if you're affected by Mercury retrograde and you have maybe been involved in something months back or whatever, and if it's already been in your life, you can revisit that during this time of Mercury retrograde and instigate that, ping that, and that will get you some money coming in. So if you want to work with Mercury retrograde, it has to be something that you were engaged in previously that can be restored in the now in order to re-ping the money. So it is a strategic time for Taurus. If you're thinking about the magical way of understanding it, you want to look at that. The other thing is the moon is in Capricorn. Moon is in Capricorn, and that means a lot about stability around money, planning around projects, financial building, that type of a thing, of business stabilization, career enhancements, stabilizing vibration and pushing through. This is breaking ground kind of energy. So, all right, stick with it. Stick with the journey, baby. That's for the Taurus. For Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. For the week of July 7th to July 14th. And this is going to be about money. Money predictions. Well, I think things have been slow and steady, more going out than coming in, at least in terms of the way you're thinking. You sure don't like what's going out compared to what's coming in. But I do see other people, maybe if you're connected in a partnership or in love affair, I see a pooling of money, a pooling of ideas, a pooling of resources in order to move forward. And that might be the best. Now, be careful, of course, who you're connecting your financial situation with, because, of course, that could always lead to other problems. So it's mindfulness time around money and financial building. It can go very well, depending, as I was saying, about that Mercury retrograde. If you were born on a Mercury retrograde, or if you're... Some Geminis may find this very difficult time, and others may find it absolutely optimal, okay? So those that are in the opposite will benefit. But I can tell you the biggest benefactors will be those that are connected to others. So in a group or small partnership, Gemini. So consider that, because standing on your own could be harder. And if you can connect with family or really solid old friendships, this would be most definitely the best way to manage this next week. All right. And talking about it and thinking about it is really good. So you might not make the absolute connections or stabilize it this week, but you will make the connections, but stabilizing it this week might still be in the talking stages, okay? Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is for money, for July 7th to July 14th. And Cancer, you're another one who may be affected by this moon because it is in Capricorn. Capricorn and Cancer, and Libra, and Cancer, Aries. All the cardinal signs may be affected a lot by this moon. Just keep that in mind, because it is a Capricorn moon, it's a cardinal sign, and this means the cardinal signs will have the most shifting vibration. And it could be the best, though. Many cardinal signs will find this moon to be very good, okay? Money is not going to be exactly where you are, where you want it, Cancer. So this week has to be one where you're shifting and pushing to get it where you want. So anything that you've noticed that has been out of balance, you're going to need to really look at and figure out how you're going to shift that energy and turn it on its heels. So you do have an emptying of the cup, which means that there's been a lot of drain on your financial situation for some time. Justice card is here, and this tells me that there is an opportunity for balance, but you got to really think about it and force yourself to do the right thing. That makes the most sense. Force yourself to do the right thing. If you do that, you will better the situation for sure. Another one who kind of says, this one says there might be some circumstances or journeys that have not been to your benefit. If it hasn't been to your benefit, you need to look at that and cut those ties. That's going to be, this week is going to be, what do I not need? What do I not want to hold on to? What is costing me too much money? You know what this reminds me of? When I went through all of my subscriptions, I had so many. And when I went through all the subscriptions and I cut out, let's say, I cut out Shaw's Cable, I cut out Bell Canada. I looked for everything that was more reasonable and more streamlined. And I saved probably $200 a month doing that. That's what this looks like. Something like that, I think, would be a really good idea to review this particular week. Cancer, that's what I got to say for you. What can you shed in order to save? Leo, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant is for July 7th, right on, D, to July 14th. And this is going to be for money. It says whatever you put out there is stirring the pot. This is not a bad week at all. Not at all. Now, it does look like your finances have not been where you want them, but who the hell is right now? I mean, we really are in a recession. Canada and US are alike. I'm going to say the whole world is, because COVID just threw us for a loop, and then all our governments went crazy. So bottom line is, yeah, this is not easy financial time for everyone. For most of us are struggling at some point, but this week is going to be a decent week for Leos. You're going to take on some things that you had at first thought not to. You've got the Four of Cups, all right? The Four of Cups was in reverse, though. And it says, so in the past, you've been kind of reluctant to take on anything, and maybe made some rash decisions or jumped into certain things without full content or full clarity, but just because your willingness to do whatever you got to do to make the finances happen, it shows that maybe didn't come in fast enough. However, it's now shifted. So this is the Three of Cups. This is a fantastic card for you to have, Leo, for financial gain, because it speaks of connecting with others that have good ideas, good intention, and good financial plans. And that for you to be connected to that is a good thing. So whatever you put out, this is the Two of Inspiration. She calls it Two of Wands. This is a really good card for putting out the vibe and just holding on, because the energy's on its way back. It might not fully come in this week, but don't even worry about it. It's money in the bank. All right. So it does show that the vibration in the last few weeks has shifted, and we can now start to feel our financial worth. And that's a good thing, because Leos need it when they're pushing hard, and lots of Leos will push hard, and we're hard workers. Well, unless we're hard playing, because that's a thing too, right? All right, so this is going to be for Virgo Sun, Moon, or Ascendant, because seriously, this is a very popular sign. I'm sure there's lots of us do Virgo Sun, Moon, and Ascendant for the week of July 7th to July 14th. It's about money, all about money. All right, well, yeah. Okay, Virgo, this is a good week, okay? This is a very good week for you. It looks like you've been pushing the envelope in order to get your finances where you want them. So you've had some good ideas, you've had some good creations, and you've been putting it out there, and you've been pushing hard. This is a good thing, but it hasn't been as fun as I'd like it to be. So, and here's my point. When you're doing something, you want it to be joyful, and you want it to come from the spirit, not just from the head. So when you push too hard and your perfectionism is too strong or too high, you're not enjoying. And you must enjoy when you're creating, because even if it's money, you must enjoy, or you will not give it your best. And if you don't give it your best, the money won't come. That's the vibe you're carrying. You're a Mercury-born sign. You can't get away with nothing. Sorry to say. Virgo energy, if you're not putting out the good vibe doesn't come back. If you're putting out nasty anything, that's what you're going to find. All right? So you've got to be really focused on putting out the good. You do have the 10 of Cups. This is a fantastic card. Another one. This is a very good card to shift the energy. It tells me community, circles, people, tribes, whatever you want to call it. All your circle, your tribe, your people are there. You have found them. Play on. Have fun. Give it your best. Don't try to be the boss. Try to be part of the circle. Try to be part of it. Try to be, how do I say this? Everyone should be leading in some way. And you must reduce your need to control. That's a good way to put it. Okay? Let the flow be. And everything would be perfect then. You even got the card that represents you. It's such amazing when that happens. I just love it. Look at this card. She's put it on its side. It is the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is the card for Virgo. And it is about connecting with others. See how she's put that? It really is about working with others, working on self, working to better things, bringing your skills to the table, emulating what is in your head in reality. It is a really good card for everyone. And then this card marks it as a transitional card. It is the modifier. This is the card, the Fool. Look at this beautiful card, the Fool. Right? You know what that's about? Taking a leap of faith, believing in yourself, knowing that your ideas have value, financial value, and financial security. Okay? So as far as I'm concerned, if you've had any ideas that you've been sitting on, or any wonder, should I do this? Is this the right time to do this? This type of thing. This week, it's going to be a really good time. So Mercury is in the shadow period coming soon, okay? In the next week or so, it's going to be shifting near the end of this week, this period. You're going to feel Mercury retrograde coming in, okay? You're going to feel it because, of course, you're Virgo, and that's your planet. So you do need to be careful that you don't hold on to, let's say, ideas that are not passionately connected to your sacredness. You must be in your sacredness. It must feel as if it is a powerful connection to spirit and to your soul and to the vibration that you came to this earth with, okay? You matter. And although money is very important, your spiritual connection to it is more important. That's how you really make it, okay? And then the Magician card says, you got what it takes to speak it into life, to write it into life, to magically bring it into life. Manifesting your financial wealth is a very possible thing this week. Trust me, it is. What is it you want? If you want to you could even make a very good connection to, let's say, I don't know, to the stock market, to the Bitcoin, to the crypto, or whatever you call it all that stuff. Maybe even digital money is the place to put some cash this week. I don't know. It looks like there's some unexpected, buy a ticket. It's going to be a good week, okay? That's for you, Virgo. Libra, for Sun, Moon, or Ascendant. Libra, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant for July 7th to July 14th. This is for you and all about money. Oh, you're another one who's got finances coming in. They're coming in, but you spend a lot. You spend a lot. I am told to tell you, Libra, to be more mindful in your spending. You do like money. I can see that. But you put some energy out there, some ideas out there, some investments out there. They're bound to come back. Question all the things that you're thinking about. I would like you to talk to somebody else who's a wise guy and just make sure that they agree too. Because you've got a lot of good ideas for money making coming up. Absolutely. And for money saving, you definitely have that. But you do need to get a second opinion on something. And that second opinion will save you a lot of money and put you in the blue. Okay, this is a great card for that, for the ending card. It's Ace of Materials. Look at that. Ace of Pentacles says you've got new opportunities that are going to put you in a position of making a good foundation for future wealth. All right, but this is the beginning right here. This is day one, ground zero. All right, but it's there and it's good and it's solid. Go for it. Good week for you, Scorpio. Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is for you. And this is for money. And this is for July 7th to July 14th. And yes, money's coming your way. Yes. Yes. Money's coming your way. Four of Pentacles does, though, mean that you still have to hold it. You might have three sources of income, okay? And each of them are building finances. And as long as you just stick with it and keep going with the flow, it will definitely bring the financial equity you've been seeking. Okay. Now, you might be doing things you don't like doing in order to get it, but that it leads you to something else. I do see lots of opportunity, though, and lots of different people connecting with you. I do see you also having to reduce effort put in certain places, and or certain jobs are done and over with. So those finances will have come and gone already. But yeah, this is going to be a decent week for you to pull money together. I don't have any problem or any worry about it. And if there are some, unique projects that are calling you in, it's certainly something I would look at. Sag, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant? All right, Sagittarius, this is for money. And this is for July 7th to July 14th. All right, well, I always get right to it, okay? It looks like you might have some ideas that are going to be on the table, talking to some other people, maybe connecting in group or community, or sort of pooling your finances, something like that. Could be partnership in love, partnership in work, partnership in neighboring even, okay? Or even having a similar cause as others. That you need to push yourself a little bit. Maybe there's something holding you back. Maybe there's an emotion holding you back or something. So just be mindful this week. okay? Because it doesn't look like the finances are anywhere near what you need. And I'm sorry to tell you, but I don't bullshit. But if you stick with others who, if you pool your finances, you'll have what you need. That's basically where I'm coming. Capricorn. Capricorn, here we go. Sun, Moon, and Ascendant for Capricorn for the week of July 7th to July 14th. This is for you, and this is for money. All right, so here we go. Capricorn, you want to be rich. That's a plain and simple fact. Of all the signs, I'm going to say Capricorn has the most possibility, the most likeliness to have the most money for the longest period of time, if they are in their right mind. If they are not, they spend too much. If they are not, they waste it on addictive behavior. But if they are in upright position, man, you guys are awesome. And one of the strongest signs when it comes to money making, money stabilizing, money creating. You're the one. All right, and here's some of the reasons why. You know how to pull it together. Let's say there's a big project and you have the ability to see financial wealth you can see the bigger picture. So you can see all the possible players that will come into the situation and what you're going to need. So let's say you're a general contractor, which is a common job for a Capricorn kind of person. So that type of job means you're going to be in direct contact and in direct guidance or supervision of all the contractors. So you're the one who's going to pull in the electrician, the plumber, the painter, the drywaller, the carpenter, all of that. You're the one who's going to pull that all in. And by pulling that in, you end up with an amazing team. And that team is what makes you all financially successful. So this looks like this week is going to be discussion with team players for that type of a thing. And the opportunity for making money is 100% in your hands this week. So Capricorn, get out there and pull rank because you're the boss. You know, maybe you've been reluctant to take on certain jobs or reluctant to take on certain people. This is a week for you to review, revisit, and reconnect with people that maybe you kind of put to the side. All right? That is also because Mercury's going into retrograde on the 17th, I believe, and the week before is usually some sort of stirring up, especially for others, and also because the moon is in Capricorn. That moon vibration in Capricorn is definitely going to cause financial shifting, okay, or business energetically shifting. And depending on the sign, if you're a cardinal sign, and especially if you're a Capricorn, you're probably going to feel this moon vibration the most. And also because Mercury's going into retrograde, if you're one who has a lot of Mercury in your natal, this is going to shift the energy enough for you to feel it. Now, this could be good or bad depending on whether it's in retrograde or not, in your sign, in your natal chart, or depending on what your moon or ascendant sign is, also what your midhaven is, or every cardinal sign and every Capricorn and is going to be vibing high this week. High, high, high. And it'll be good for you. If something goes in what you might call a negative direction, it really isn't a bad thing. It could be because you need to review the situation in order to get the optimal energy coming through. So don't be afraid to engage in a shadowy moment because it's here for you to clean up. Don't worry about it. You got this, okay? So that's for Cap. Now we're going for Aquarius. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Ascendant. Who are filling your coffers. That's the best way to put this. Money is a big thing to Aquarius people, and they have spent a lot, or maybe there hasn't been a lot. Maybe there's been a lot of expenses rebuilding life or something like that. They're not wasting money. I'm not suggesting that. But maybe there's been, they had more freedom with finances earlier, and now the financial freedom is not really there. Could be that money's all tied up in one situation or one place. Either way, money hasn't been where you've wanted, but it does look like there have been plenty of opportunities that are shifting and money's coming in. It's coming in. But you still will have to review yourself. It could be, maybe you haven't really been feeling this about Aquarius people. They need to feel their job. They need to know this is what they should be doing. They need to feel appreciated. They need to feel that vibe. One of the things about a lot of Aquarius, because they're in their head a lot and they've got lots of ideas and lots of interest, is sometimes they can get distracted. And in that distraction, it could affect your financial situation. So if you have other supporters who are helping you, who are helping keeping you on track, lucky you, because you'll need it. This week is about possible money making is all around you, but it could be that your head isn't fully in the game. That's what I got to say. But you can shift that. I mean, simply just hearing this when it comes into play will make you check yourself. All right, it will. And if you are someone who has any Virgo or Gemini influence in you, you'll feel the Mercury retrograde as well. Or like I said, the Capricorn vibration because of the moon. The money may be there, but you don't have enough play money. That is for sure. All right, so this is going to be for Pisces. Pisces sun, moon, and ascendant. This, my dear, is for you. And this is for the week of July 7th to July 14th. Okay, financial opportunity may knock, but you are not in the flow of money yet. You may be dependent upon things. Maybe you haven't aligned stuff. Maybe you have the job, but you don't like the hours. Maybe you have the job, but you're distracted by something else. You have a job, but you want a different job. So something isn't quite where you want it, not quite. So this week is definitely going to be a week of you looking at how to balance that. So you want your vibration to be fitting your job, because you're another one who cannot stay in a job that you don't feel a passionate connection to. So if you're in a job that you don't like, you're going to be distracted. Your mind is going to be meditating somewhere else. Your mind is going to go somewhere else. And you'll go into deep thought and not put all your vibration into what you're doing. And if that's the case, your work performance is not going to be up to par. And then someone's going to notice it and say something to you. And that is not going to look good on you. So I'm questioning this week for you maybe getting into trouble around financial commitments or financial needs. But you know what? That conversation will be a good one. Don't worry. In the end, that conversation is going to put you on guard, put you back on track, and make you realize you can't just not put all your good in.